Alright. I'm gonna head out. I should probably put some pants on. I'm saving that kind of move for when I have to make a comeback on YouTube. That's better. Man, phone mount. Come along for the adventure. Hey, gonna do another quick one here. All about the Halo here, just to make Andre angry. We like doing that. But gonna open these real quick. I cannot find my knife. Wow, am I unprepared for class today? All right, well. Let's just be crazy about it. These Halo figures, oh wow, this one was all put together. No need for assembly. Kind of a bummer. This is the new series. There are 6 people to collect. It is Halo Infinite series number 4. And so okay, I got the right off the bat picked up dude. All right. Well, there's one. I do have like a setup of these figures as I open them and I collect them. I'm not a rabid collector. I don't know what the numbers are. I couldn't tell you, like what this dude is, say. But these Mega Bloks figures are superposable, and the detail on them is absolutely wonderful. And so if you're looking to have sort of a small version, just sort of to represent, these are amazingly articulate little characters. And I just, I cannot recommend them enough. We joke, Andre and I joke that Halo sucks, but he actually likes Halo. I know him. He actually digs. He's gonna love this segment. Watch in the comments. Andre is just he's gonna light up with glee. Anyway, okay, first one down, and of course it comes with a little sales packet, which goes right in the trash. And then second one. Also, no need to assemble. Usually these came like sort of, you'd have to plug them together. But I got the clear. I got the clear. Looks like a sniper. These guys I'm semi-familiar with in terms of it being in the game. Wow, this guy's all twisted around. Somebody did him a disservice before sticking him in the bag. But anyway, I got the rare clear, I would assume. Rare. There's going to be nothing rare about it, I guarantee you. As far as I know, there are no chase figures or whatever in here. This is just sort of one of the past characters done as an all clear, which is really cool though. I like that. Again, this is from Halo Infinite, I guess. Comes with a little clear power sword. That's great. Anyway. There you go. to join my ranks. Cool. I like this new series. I will probably pick up the other. I'll try to get the other 4. The thing is that I don't know enough about these figure sets yet to be able to look for the marking on the package. But I guess that's the next thing to figure out. Anyway, something else. I don't specifically collect minifigures. Those are the ones that I have accumulated. In fact, there's probably at least a dozen Lego characters that are scattered around that I haven't included on that platter full of them. Those are really, I put the Mega Constructs there. Lego characters usually have a vehicle or something to go with. Anyway, that's that. We're going to take a look at a few other things. I have some cars I need to break out of their packaging, so I'm going to do that real quick. Hope you don't mind. If you're a new viewer, and hopefully you are, what we do here at Monkey Shine Lab is we do toy reviews, we do builds, we do all kinds of crazy stuff. But one of the things that I've been involved with for my entire life is Hot Wheels. So when I kind of got a resurgence of Hot Wheels a few years ago, I bought a couple of car cases from a Hobby Lobby, otherwise known in our circles as Hobbit Lobster. I pronounce that the way Nas pronounces it, just because he's the one that coined the term. I have I'm gonna come clean now. I have six car cases, and that's just too many. So I am not going to buy any more car cases. What I am going to do, however, is that when I find cars that I really like, certain makes, certain car makers, I really like their stuff. McLaren is one of the ones I'm a big fan of. I'm going to keep the ones I like. I'm going to rotate the stuff I don't like out to my grandkids. You're welcome. They watch. I'm keeping the stuff that I really like. I'm gonna open these cars real quick, and then I will give you a closer look at them. But the first and foremost is one of my favorite car designs, and this is a really beautiful job on this one. Is the Ford GT. This is a 2017. I used to open cars over my red velvet desk thing over here, but it gets really full of cat hair as it stands. So wow, this is a child-proof one. I don't know if I can get it out of the safety. Might have to have my wife come help me. That's a tenacious bubble, seriously. As I said, I have been opening Hot Wheels my entire life. Anyway, Ford GT. You will get a much better, closer look at all of these, but for the GT, I have this larger, it's a 132 instead of a 164. Little example. Similar body styles, radically different paint jobs. But anyway, this is one of the Hot Wheels that I really cannot I cannot pass by is the GTs. This one I'm going to open just because I have a lot of these Koenigs. The Jesco is, I think, is a very, very nice looking ride. Lambo is currently demanding to get into the lab. I have the door closed. There's work going on in the rest of the house. I don't work down here in the lab. I just have fun. My wife's gonna poke me after that one. Anyway, there's the Jesco. I really like the neon green highlight there on the hood. I'm not a big fan of neon color paint being used. They do it well in Pagani. Pagani also makes a really good ride. And here we have a 2017 Pagani Hyra Roadster. And like I said, I am not I've said this before anyway, I am not a hypercar fan. I am not a supercar fan or a luxury car fan necessarily. There are just things that I see that I know I like. And I really like McLaren. I really like Pagani. I think that they're making a really hot looking car, and go figure, they are sort of reminiscent of the GT body design. But that's always been, you know, growing up in the 70s and 80s, that that body style design was, you know, speed racer cars looked like that. Everything we saw growing up in popular media, that said race car to me. So that's one of the reasons why I really like that design. Oh, wow. Didn't show you the package of this, but this is a Japan Origins Nissan Skyline, and in a matte finish, which is, to me, absolutely awesome. The feel of this matte finish is very different, of course, than other cars in my collection. But anyway, I'm going to add these 4 to my collection. Let me give you a quick look at them real quick. I feel like Hot Wheels is beginning to step up their game just a little bit, but this whole year, honestly, and I know there's only one representative right now in this group, but the Matchbox, quality-wise, has been killing it. They have been just nailing the castings, and getting all the water slides on, getting all the details done. With Hot Wheels, it's there's a sort of a mint green Skyline out there, which is a very attractive casting, but they did not do the front end. The lights and the grill work is all still the same color as the body, And I feel that if you're not going to get those headlights done, but you're going to put taillights on it, it's you're leaving something unfinished. You're making a cost-cutting decision somewhere, some reason, and it seems very arbitrary between car makers. It's not like the hypercars all get treated really well and the fantasy cars all get screwed over. It's just I've looked for a pattern for a very long time and I can't seem to find one. What were you doing in 1979? I'm sure the majority of you are going to say, I wasn't even here. And that's fine. You have risen in a much better age to be into all of the sort of things that we cover on this show. But recently, one of our viewers, one of our family members, really, if he doesn't mind being included in that, Chris Sheets is a tremendous human being. He's extremely generous with his time, his talents, and his resources. And recently he sent me a Shogun Warrior comic. Now, this is an original. Yes, I'm handling it without putting gloves on because comics need hand oil. It's the way they stay lubricated. But Shogun Warriors was a Japanese toy that was fitted for an American market. And in trying to market this stuff to American kids, Marvel won the license to do a comic tie-in with the toys, and which was all the rage by 1979, Star Wars having shown the way. The fun thing about this that Chris probably wasn't intending is that when you do come from the time before home computing, when you do come from the time before home video, where VHS machines did not exist and the Betamax ruled the day. When you come from that time period, this was one of the only ways that we could get our fix, if you will. And in 1979, one of the things that was really kind of cool here was imports such as Ultraman, and there was a certain amount of us, Spectre-Man, that was another one. There was a certain cross section of us that that really were drawn. We were really drawn to the giant monsters subgenre of Japanese film. So this was like the only way that you could get new adventures while you were waiting for a film, if they were going to make another film. And you didn't know if it was coming or not. They would spring these things on you back in the day. And you didn't really have a lot of warning unless you were keyed into certain fanzines. But the other thing that's fun about this book is what I want to show you now. In addition to being entertainment, comic books are sort of a cultural time capsule. If you take a look inside here, you see things that you don't see anymore in comic books. Joke stuff, spud guns, werewolf masks. The artwork and the printing is of a certain texture. There is a tactile experience going through this comic book. But then the other thing is to see ads that I remember as a kid. Hubba Bubba. And it was, it's every couple of pages, they would open you up with something else. How to get more muscle. How to get a high school ring. These things were important back in '79. And as you can see, like Saturday morning television was heavily marketed in these comic books because this was the way they reached their audience. But karate instruction, what else? These rubber masks that came out. By the way, they didn't look anything like this. They didn't look very good. You could get the whole set of 4 for $15. I did have a Red Skull. It's so funny to see some of this stuff now. And I hope that the good folks at Marvel don't mind me kind of exposing some of the pages here. And Rom, like, hey kids. This is a terrible, terrible action figure, by the way. Made by Parker Brothers. Anyway, it's just fun to see old advertisements. It's fun to see the way that they used to push things in comic books, because when you page through a comic book now, there's none of that stuff, with the exception of maybe trying to get you to subscribe or something. One more thing I'd like to talk about here this episode, and it's because I was kind of going through and cleaning up some shelves and stuff like that, because I'm always making progress. I found this copy of Masters of Doom. It's by a author named David Kushner. Excuse me, let me get my fingers off the... I'm not Jimmy Kimmel or Johnny Carson or whoever you kids are watching these days. David Letterman. Holding up a book. But this is one of the best books on modern pop culture that I've read. And the reason for that is that they nail a time in computer gaming history where not only was the first-person shooter invented, but also landline culture was birthed. And so all of the multiplayer games that you see now that are run across the internet, we would never deign to sit in the same room as one another anymore. It's back in the day when you had two computers that were tied together by a wire, and you could finally run around a virtual environment and shoot each other. A distinctly American thing. John Carmack went on to create a lot of different games. You can look him up if you want to, and John Romero as well, for that matter. But it's the game of Doom, which really, really transformed things. This same author, David Kushner, has also written a pretty damn good book about Grand Theft Auto called Jacked, which explores that game line's effect on the world's psyche. This is the one. This is the one to read. If you want to read about key moments in video game and pop culture history, this is where it all started. I bought it in hardcover, of course, but I'm sure you can get it on your Kindle machine. That's what I've got going on today. But I will see you all again tomorrow, so please tune in. Until then, I'll be doing other stuff. Bye.